This is a really infectious song. I'm sure you've heard it. It's called Ho Hey by the Lumineers. It was kind of put out as a single for them back in December of 2011. Came out on their debut album a few months later in 2012. And this is a great example of, first of all, this roots rock stuff that is fairly easy to play, but just really fun to play too. When I first heard this, it was like, it just grabs you. And the simplicity of it on the guitar also makes it really appealing. So there's a lot of, there are a lot of subtleties that happen in there too, especially with rhythmic accents and a little bit of syncopation. We're going to cover that all in the lesson. But the chords are pretty simple. We'll talk about all this in just a few minutes, but just want to give you a little bit of a short history on the band. It was a couple of guys from New York who were kind of disillusioned with the music scene and decided to head west, following Horace Greeley's advice. Got as far as Denver, decided that was a great place to settle, and can totally understand that. If anybody has ever been out in that neck of the woods, it's absolutely beautiful. Put out a few ads, Craigslist, looking for some extra musicians, and ran into somebody applied that played the cello, eventually learned how to play the mandolin, and their sound, they just kind of started playing around town. They had some great feedback and following, and now they're pretty easy to find. So really encourage you to check out some of their stuff on YouTube and really think about adding this album to your collection. The more I play it, the more I get knocked out by it. So anyway, what we're going to be doing in this lesson is talking about, there's like a simple 3 or 4 chord song, but just with some slightly complicated strumming. What I have in there is I've got a chart that shows the chords and the changes, and then a tab that shows some of the rhythmic things that happen in there. So we're mostly going to be working on the subtleties involved with getting everything you need to do to play Ho Hey. Well, that was a preview to a lesson I put together for TotallyGuitars as part of the Target program on, of course, Ho Hey by the Lumineers. Really, really fun song to play. And in the lesson we go into a little bit more, into a lot of detail about the chords and some of the changes. And the first thing I like people to do with any song is make sure you have a clear understanding of the chord progression. So we kind of just play through it very simply. And you can definitely practice this to get the hang of it, playing a regular C chord and just moving it very quickly. Move your second and third fingers to one string over to the third and fourth strings for a partial F. We're only going to play really 2 strings. If we hear the second string in there, it's no big deal. But if you get the hang of this, playing quarter notes, the strumming that we do in this is broken up into 16ths, which means we've got 8 downs in the measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and moving to the F on the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So once you have that, you can move on into a little bit more complicated strumming and getting that sound. So anyway, the rest of the lesson goes into the general side of it, just getting the chord progression, and then the specific side of following the strumming that we have written out in tabs. So if you'd like to check it out, it's up now. It's part of the Target program at TotallyGuitars, along with hundreds and hundreds of other songs. There, of course, are some great free songs as well. So if you just want to try out some of our lessons and see if it's for you, be sure to come over and check out some of the free lessons. I think there's about 60 or 65 of them there now. And but if you're interested in working on this Lumineers tune, come see us, and there will be more of these on the way, I hope.